up. Get ready. It's going to be a very, very intense journey.
Begin.
Hi-de-ho, cheerio. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Frame Skip. This is episode 22. It is August 19th, 2020. Thank you for joining us on this splendid day. This week it is just me, your host, Seth Slakehouse, with the ladies' man, Elijah Steele.
That was a great start, I gotta say.
Thank you. We're on a roll tonight. It's going to be a good episode. You don't need those other lame losers on the show.
Oh, I'm telling them you said that.
Yeah.
I don't have to because Austin will edit this and he'll hear it.
Austin and Coach got viciously mauled by grizzly bears through a hike in upper Washington area. They'll be back eventually when they heal up from their wounds. Elijah, how are you this week?
I'm doing great. I'm so tired from work, but I'm doing great.
Yeah. I'm also pretty tired because I switched to day shift this week.
Oh, how's that going?
It's going well. I'm no longer a night shift employee. I got the bid for daylight, and it was a hard transition, but thankfully I had the whole weekend to do it. So I could not sleep at night, dude. No matter what, I was packing my body with melatonin in any way possible during the night hours to fall asleep, and it wasn't working. But
dang.
After my first shift, and I had to stay up all day, and then I was tired and slept the first night. And now I'm doing great. Now everything's fine. I got one of these really cool alarm clocks that simulate the sunrise.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's a super bright once it fully turns on. It's like a spotlight shining in my face, so I kind of have to wake up.
That's a good way of doing it. I like
it's very useful. Yeah, well, 'cause I guess your body's naturally designed biologically to wake up when the sun rises.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone like me who has to wake up at 5 a.m. when it's still dark out, it's really hard. It would be really hard to wake up, and I wanted to make sure I could wake up easily. So I got this light, and it slowly turns on. It's a dark red, then it switches to a yellow, and then it becomes a white light, and it simulates the sunrise. So
that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's turned out to be very helpful. It was a good investment. And then what I also do is I plug my phone in on the opposite side of the room with my alarm. And
so you have to get up to turn it off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that as well.
Yeah, so that's my strategy, and it's working well. And then I normally, because I don't like to wake up and run out the door and go to work. I feel like that's not what I like to do. I like to take my time. So I usually wake up. I have to be at work at 6:40. I wake up at 5. It gives me enough time to work out and get a shower and get breakfast in me and not have to rush,
Yeah. I try and do the same each day.
Yeah, so I remember when I worked with you there, a lot of times I'd wake up and I'd have to just throw on clothes and just dip out the door, and I hate that. I hate that feeling.
I remember that. Seth, when did you wake up? I don't know, 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's a 45-minute drive. Wow. Not today, it wasn't.
Those were the days.
Yep, those were the days. Anything new going on in your life?
Not really. I've been moving all of my games into my bedroom, which is where I stream from and such, because it gets so warm in the room that I had them. To give you an idea, I had moved some stuff out there because I'm moving stuff around and such, and I have some face lotion because I have dry skin and such, and it was out there for 2 days. Well, I went to grab it, and I just picked up, and it felt weird, and I opened it up. It was all just liquid. It was so warm in there. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I'm moving everything. So now everything is in an air-conditioned room. It's temperate controlled, and I have so many shelves, it's ridiculous.
Why is it so hot in certain rooms of your house? Do you not have big air conditioners in your house?
The way this house used to be, the second floor was the attic. So for the same reason attics will always kind of trap in heat, right off to the sides of it is just the roof with heat coming in. So it just traps heat upstairs. The air conditioners up here, though they are made for a little bigger area. So the air conditioner I have right behind me is made for a 3-room upstairs. It barely gets out my room.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much heat swirling in there. So
I have the same problem. My apartment is actually a loft. It's
oh, yep.
The building I live in is a giant mansion. It's a really old, huge building in Lock Haven. and I live on the top floor, which is a loft, and it's a really cool apartment. I really like it, but that's the same problem, is that it's the top floor, and it used to be like an attic.
It gets so warm.
Yeah, so for my small apartment, I have 2 air conditioners running constantly. I can't turn them off or the house will heat up too much, and then it takes forever to cool down. So I have 2 air conditioners just running nonstop. My electric bill, I think, was $120 this month, which is quite a bit for electric bill.
Yeah, it's quite high here as well.
Yeah, it's just, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's really cheap in the wintertime. I don't have to turn my heat on at all.
Very true.
I just suck up everyone else's heat. It's awesome. Sorry, suckers.
Technically, aren't you the sucker if you're sucking their heat?
I am the sucker, yeah. I am the heat gelatinous form known as thermal boo. That was a bad joke. All right, what have you been playing this week?
Really, the 2 things I want to talk about are Metamorphosis. This is a game. Thank you to the dev for giving it to me. This was one of my favorite games I'd played at PAX, where it's based on a Kafka story, and you're turned into a bug, and you're trying to help. Your friend is being arrested, and you're trying to help your friend through it. It's a puzzle-based game. It's really fun, actually. And there's a lot more to it, because going off of trophies, I'm like, oh, I think just by beating the game, I'll get the platinum for this. But I have like 1/3 of the trophies after beating it. So apparently there's a lot more you can do. Without spoiling anything, there was a part I was at where something happened, and then looking at a trophy, I'm like, wait, how do I make this happen? It was something completely different. So I'm really interested to play it again, see if I can find ways to try new things and make other stuff kind of sprout in the game. But it was really fun, really fun.
Is it like an adventure game?
It's a first. It's more so just like a first-person puzzle platformer.
Oh, okay.
Where you play as a cricket.
Oh, okay.
And like one of the mechanics in it is you can find sticky stuff. So whether it be like honey or sap or ink from like an ink blotter, it's set in, I'm going to say like the 20s, 30s. So there's like the ink, like the quill pens and ink pens. And so there's lots of ink, and you grab that and you can hold down. I played it on PS4. You can hold down the left trigger, and essentially you can climb just straight up surfaces at like a complete right angle and such, until there's a little meter, and when that runs out, you'll fall off. Just a bunch of different cool stuff like that. I really, really like it. I will say, I didn't take a look at the price before I accepted the code, but I'm pretty sure it's $24.99. That is a little steep in my mind, I will say. Mm-hmm. It's a really fun game, don't get me wrong. I do recommend grabbing on a sale, but I do recommend playing it.
I have to say something, and I'm going to declare it right now as a fact.
Yes.
And it's now a scientific fact, that crickets are just loud grasshoppers.
You know what? I've genuinely thought about it before, and then just completely didn't look up the answer. What really is the big difference between crickets and grasshoppers? Because they seem to be part of the same familia.
The main difference between a grasshopper and a cricket is that crickets tend to have long antennae, and grasshoppers have short antennae. Crickets sing by rubbing their wings together, while grasshoppers stridulate by rubbing their long legs against their wings. They're the same thing.
Yeah,
they're the same animal. One of them is just they make slightly different sounds. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the truth. We don't need all these different names for these different bugs and birds and whatnot. There's the big angry birds, and then there's the fun little colorful birds. And that's how we're gonna name them from now on. Oh, look, there's the red bird. There's the big angry one that kills things. That's it.
I'm genuinely curious what birds are in your mind when you say there's the red bird and then the big angry one that kills things. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, he's talking about a cardinal and Rodan from Godzilla.
It doesn't matter. These are how things are going to be classified when I take over the world and start my new world order. We've got horses. We've got fat horses. We've got horses with a horn on the front. And we've got horses with a long neck.
And you have little horses that go up in horsey heaven.
We've got horses with horns that jump into you and hurt you. Everything is a horse.
We've got horses that make milk.
Yeah, exactly. They're the fat horse.
They're the black and white spotted ones.
Yeah.
The other game I've been playing is, I've been playing Fairy Tail, and I'm on the final chapter now. I am on the Tartarus arc.
Oh, the old Tartary. The tartar sauce arc.
Now, you're actually not the only person who's been like, oh, but if you play the game, that'll spoil stuff for you.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
I will say, there are parts of that game where I got so sad or so hype.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say, Aquarius Lucy.
Yeah, so there's Fairy Tail is like one of the anime that are the best, that is the best at making me so hyped that I scream to myself in my apartment at the top of my lungs, just out of pure like energy hype from watching a show. It like only happens with anime. It happens with Sword Art Online too, but Fairy Tail really gets me going. I think
really
it's the music of Fairy Tail. The music, dude, is just so good with Fairy Tail. It can alter your mood in any way it wants. It has a complete control over my life.
It's so true. That music, because like that music hit, that same thing happened to me. That moment started, that music hit, that change was happening, and I yelled, "Let's go!" really loud, at like 11:30 the other night.
I just like rip my shirt off and like freaking out like but yeah, like the latest episode of Sword Art Online did the same thing because it was so amazing, dude. How did you ever finish Sword Art Online?
I need to get caught up. I've seen up to the end of SAO 2 with the Mother Rosaria arc.
Oh, okay. That one of the best arcs in the whole show.
Yeah, it's a great arc.
If you're bored tonight or whenever, dude, just watch the movie. The movie
is so good.
Okay, so you've seen the movie.
Yeah, actually, I saw it in theaters in Boston when we went to PAX a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we found out it was playing in a theater there the night we got in town. Because that was a cool theater. Reclining seats, beer, food. Oh, it was a great theater. But that was a great movie.
Yeah, dude, it's a great movie, and it's actually canon in the story.
Yep.
So the anime, the last episode of the anime makes reference, and a character comes back from that movie.
Oh.
In the game they're in. But I would say, dude, you should just watch Alicization because I think it's better than SAO 2. You know how like SAO has that bad habit of being like super fast paced and like pushing everything together. Well, Alicization doesn't do that. So it's like, I think we're on episode like 51 or 52 or something like that, and it's just starting to hit the final arc.
Oh,
like,
nice!
It's been a slow burn up through this whole saga. And the crazy thing is that the whole thing takes place within like 2 weeks in the real world.
Huh?
Yep. So like it's pretty cool. In the game it takes place over like 10 years. It's really crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the latest arc of Sword Art Online is amazing. Now I know Chris is caught up in it. But
yeah, I do. I haven't started through. In fact, I'm a huge Zoids fan. I'm finally watching through Zoids Wild.
Ah, okay, that's cool.
But yeah, so Fairy Tail. Yeah, I'm loving the game. I'm on the final chapter. I will say about the game, especially after this much time with it, I think I'm 22 hours. Unless you are a fan of Fairy Tail, you won't really enjoy the game that much. The actual game mechanics and such are okay. What makes it super fun is it being wrapped in a fairy tale aesthetic and with a fairy tale story. And like, even though like I had just started Fairy Tail, I absolutely fell in love with that show. So I am loving my time with the game. But yeah, unless you are a Fairy Tail fan, it's not a game I would really highly recommend.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It seems like whoever holds the rights to Fairy Tail really made a massive blunder with that, because it's a very extremely popular anime, and there's no like real merchandise for it out there anywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no like figures, there's no like statues. This is like the first video game of any consequence that came out.
Funny you mentioned that, actually. I looked it up. There were 2 PSP games released in Japan by Konami.
Yeah, I know about the PSP games. They were not very highly regarded.
No, that is true.
Oh, the final season was a complete blunder. It's terrible. It wrapped up because there was Fairy Tail, the main series, and there's Fairy Tail the final season. That's actually the name of it. and it's like absolutely awful. It wraps up the story after they changed hands with the production companies or whatever, and there's no more like battle animation. It's like freeze frames of like special moves. It's really annoying.
So what about you? What have you been playing?
I've been playing a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima, but I really just haven't been in the mood to play it. I really love that game though. It's really good. I have not been in the mood to really play games lately, but when I have been in the mood to play them, I've been playing Dragon Ball Kakarot, and I beat it. I beat Kakarot about 3 or 4 days ago, I want to say. And I gotta say, like, I really truly agree with all the reviews that say the game overstays its welcome quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if it's because I have gone through the story of Dragon Ball Z so many times, but it is a scene for scene complete recreation of the story of Dragon Ball Z, all 300 and some episodes or whatever it is.
I have heard that, yeah.
And that's fine, but I really truly dislike the Buu arc in Dragon Ball. It's like my least favorite arc by far. I don't like it whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah, I do not like the Buu arc whatsoever. So after the Cell games, which is probably the high point of the game, there's really not much else to see. Like the combat's completely expanded at that point, and you've seen the best from all the bosses, and then the rest of the game just kind of continues on, and there's nothing like new to see. There's nothing new to experience. All the combat is exactly the same for the last third of the game. The other problem is the game is like absurdly easy.
Interesting.
Like, I don't think I was ever in any sort of danger in any of the boss fights whatsoever. So there's that, right? But on the other hand, I'm like, wow, this game is also absolutely incredible because of the RPG mechanics in it. It's like all the side quests. Some of them are like kind of stupid. They're like fetch quests or whatever, but some of them are like really cool, expanded lore for characters. Then you like hunt the Dragon Balls down and like wish enemies back to life and fight them. And then
Wait, really?
there's a level, yeah. Then there's a level system, like an RPG that you can go through and level up all your characters and you get these little emblems called Z emblems, and you build different boards, and through those boards you can get like XP boosts or like strength boosts and stuff like that. So there's a lot of customization with your characters as far as stats go, but you do reach a point, like the max level I think is 250.
Oh dang.
And like the bosses are like level 70 and 80. So like I'm level like in like the 120s right now because I'm going through and like doing all the end game content, and I'm like one-shotting everything. And there's like no challenge at all in the game, but I'm like still having fun, like messing around with these characters and stuff. But I think I'm gonna transition over to Fighters. I'm never gonna call it Fighters. It's always gonna be Fighter Z.
Understandable.
Well, so like the name of the series is Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call it Fighters, like just like I wouldn't call it Dragon Balls.
Yeah. No. I'm right with you there. Yeah. I've heard a lot of people like Kakarot, but kind of the same complaints as you. I must say, with Dragon Ball Fighter Z, it's totally that. I could not really get into that game, which is interesting because I love that company, Arc System Works.
Mm-hmm.
I love their fighting games. I love Dragon Ball Z. Put them together, and I didn't like it.
So I think the thing with Kakarot is the story's awful. Or not awful. Not Kakarot. Fighter Z. The thing with Fighter Z is the story is like not only awful but absolutely annoying. I was streaming it the other night, and I had forgotten like how bad it was.
They made clones of all of us.
Yeah, it's a really, really annoying story. But I will say the gameplay is like top notch. It's bar none. Like the gameplay in Fighter Z is incredible. Fighter Z and Kakarot are completely opposite games.
Yeah.
Because Fighter Z like has the rewarding combat and the difficulty, whereas Kakarot's more of like an action RPG that you can just become godlike in. Now here's the real reason I wanted to talk about these games though, is that Bandai Namco's treatment of the DLC for these games has been so abysmal, and no one's talking about it. I saw one article that was posted like a couple days ago about how this is like the treatment of these DLCs is like a good reason to remember not to pre-order games. Yeah. Because it's so awful, dude. So I think when did Kakarot come out? It was 2018?
No, it was this year.
Was it this year?
Kakarot?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kakarot was this year. It was January
16th. Okay, so they sold a season pass for Kakarot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first DLC came out in, I think, April, and it was the Battle of the Gods DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that DLC wasn't really a DLC. It was like you can fight Whis and you can fight Beerus, and you can do it over and over and over again until you unlock the Super Saiyan God transformation. That's it. That's the whole DLC.
Oh.
Yeah. So the season pass, I think it was, I don't know how much it was originally. I just bought it for $25. You can't buy that DLC episode by itself. You can only get it through the season pass, and that is one of 3 DLCs they've announced for the game. One of 3 DLCs, and they haven't announced the other 2 yet. So that was back in April that came out. It's been complete radio silence since then.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's wow.
Yeah, that's all. That's awful as nothing. I mean, April was what, 4 months ago? Yeah.
I couldn't remember off.
January, February, March.
This year is weird. So
yeah, it's weird that it's August already. But that was 4 months ago. They haven't announced anything else since then. So it's been complete radio silence. I understand like the COVID thing, but you can still like announce or like show us like what's going to happen and like give us like a time frame for the next episode, right?
Yeah,
they did.
No, nothing.
That's annoying in itself. Fighter Z though, dude, their DLC is out of control. Oh my god. It's out of control. So let's get this out of the way first. There's 3 DLC packs, each with 8 characters. Mm-hmm. They're each $25. Okay? They're each $25. So the 2 first passes are going to cost you more than the base game itself. Mm-hmm. Which is like fine, I guess. You get 16 more characters with that, and then like that's a pretty good amount of content, I guess. Yeah. The third one was announced. Let me see here what it was. Fighter Z Pass 3. I'm not sure when it was released. It was probably released last year at some point, but they go by year. It's like the Pass 1 was for the first year, Pass 2 was for the second year. You know, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they released Kefla and Ultra Instinct Goku by the spring. And they hadn't announced a single character until like 2 days ago for the rest of the DLC.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a cool character. It's Master Roshi. Yeah, but with how expensive these DLCs are, and like how silent they've been with them, it's just getting really annoying. Because I'll be honest, dude, I don't want to wait like another year to finish the DLC for Kakarot. Like I want to move on with my life. So I don't know. I'm assuming the other DLCs for Kakarot are gonna be like the Frieza movie and then the Broly movie, if I had to guess. I can
see that, yeah.
Or maybe like one of the Super arcs. Have you watched Dragon Ball Super?
I have not. I want to.
What are you waiting for?
That's a good question that I don't have an answer for.
You waiting for your funeral?
Yes, I'm just going to have Dragon Ball Super playing at my funeral. It's with a big sign, he didn't watch it, so you have to.
Yeah. You watch it in his honor? Like, holy crap, man. Like, you got to watch it. It's Dragon Ball.
I already made up my mind. If I die an early death, I want it to be on a Sunday before the football season, so the league has their fantasy draft at my funeral.
No, I hate that. I hate everything about that. Fantasy football is football for people who didn't play football.
I played football 10 years ago, but I played football.
I hate fantasy football with like a passion, like a deep hatred. Like if there was a racism for fantasy football, I would have it.
I'm in 8 leagues.
Yeah, dude. I hate that.
I love it.
It's your worst quality, Elijah.
You're probably not wrong. I did want to ask. Apex Season 6 came out. Have you played any yet?
No, me and the boys played so much Apex that I think we all got burnt out, and we're just taking a break right now.
Did you hear about the changes they made?
No, they're like always making changes.
It's very different at the moment.
Why?
All shields have 25 less health.
Good.
All shields are Evo shields. You start the game out essentially with a level 0 shield. So even if you don't have a shield, if you do 50 damage, it gives you a shield.
I don't hate that.
They put the R99 as a gun in drops.
I don't hate that either.
The Devotion LMG is now in the playing field. There's a new energy weapon called the Volt. Energy weapons now have a magazine.
I don't hate that either.
They changed the World's End map a little bit. Like there's actually this new facility, I'm gonna say, that I actually really like dropping at. No, they changed all this stuff. It seems like the battles, they go so much faster now. In fact,
because they're incentivizing you to do damage to their players. But the Evo Shield, I like that a lot.
Exactly. And like it feels it even more. Like the one time I started to be shot at, and before I even had a chance to like try and get behind something, I was dead. And I had like a purple shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's like meltdown videos on YouTube of season 6. I can't wait to watch them after this. This is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be my night's entertainment watching these. Because like the thing with like these type of players that make like Apex Legends or like shooter videos is they pride themselves on like knowing the game.
Yeah.
So when the developers change something, they're like, "I hate this. I can't handle this." They like freak out, dude, and like they melt down.
Great. Yeah, I actually really like the changes. It makes it feel much different.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I'm sure like they changed the stuff you can get in the loot boxes too, right?
Yes. Oh, and the skin for Bloodhound you get at level 50 of the Battle Pass. Yo, I am all in. I need to get to 50 just for that skin. It's so cool. Like all the skins are kind of based around as weird as it sounds, it all almost like if they were racers.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh god, I'll need to find the picture of Bloodhounds then to show you.
I see it. I'll look it up.
Okay, yeah, it is so cool. I love it.
I don't really see anything for my girl Lifeline though. Any skins for her, which is unfortunate.
I don't think they put any in for. They changed some abilities. I should say cooldowns. Now, Bloodhound's ability, like scan ability, it respawns in like 3 seconds.
Oh, well, that's cool.
You can just scan the out of the entire field. And Loba's ult went down from 3 minutes to 1.5 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah, I can't remember everything else that they changed, but I'm enjoying this season quite a bit.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite shooter that's out right now. We just played it every single one of my nights off, and we all just got burnt out really fast.
Oh yeah, I totally understand that. I try and get on each night to get my dailies, but I'll play for like an hour and a half, and be like, oh, got 2 or 3 of them, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helps me stay into it and not get burnt out like that.
Oh, by the way, I know me and you were talking about the capture card for PC.
Yes.
I was streaming pretty effectively on PC without a capture card whatsoever for my PS4.
Oh yeah. Wait, what do you mean streaming on PC from your PS4?
Yeah, I was using the remote play app on my PC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was capturing it with OBS
That makes sense.
Streaming it, and it worked perfectly. Like, it worked really well. Now, granted, I don't think I could do that if I was on a different network, but because I'm on the same network,
yeah,
it works. It worked perfectly. There was hardly any lag whatsoever. I was able to play Kakarot without any problems.
For reasons I can't use remote play on computer. My profile is not the main profile on my account, like on my console.
Because you're game sharing.
Yeah. So it's like, man, this sucks, but also it doesn't suck.
I don't really deal with the game sharing thing. I like to buy whatever I have and just have it.
Normally I'm the same way, but if someone else says, hey, I got this stuff, I'm like, yo, sup?
Yeah.
I'll try it out.
All right, let's jump into some news this week. It's probably going to be a shorter episode, but that's fine. Give you a little bite-sized, but it's a good bite. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like one of those. It's like gelato compared to ice cream. Like you want that good. You want that good.
God, I want ice cream now too.
That good. No, don't do it, Elijah. It's bad for you.
I know. There's an ice cream shop that opened up a couple towns away that its whole shtick, I think, is so wonderfully thought out and planned. Mm-hmm. So it was started by a retired cop. The name of the place is 5-0. The sizes are warning, misdemeanor, and felony.
That's awesome.
And the tip jar is just as bail money.
I'd be like, give me that felony.
And when they are out of a flavor, because it's all like handmade ice cream, which makes it so much better. When they're out of a flavor, they put up a wanted sign saying about how it escaped.
That's awesome.
They need to catch it before they can start serving it again.
My favorite ice cream is actually ice cream that you can get at Walmart, and I think it's actually considered gelato, but it's just vanilla, but it's got caramel and like chocolate, like swirly, crunchy things on top. And dude, let me tell you what, it's like you're supposed to eat a little less gelato because it's like more dense than ice cream. It's a little thicker. It's like a thick boy. I will eat this entire carton in one sitting. I will crush right through it, man. I'm telling you what, it is like 1,500 calories a serving, and I'm just burning through this thing like it's my job.
Treat yourself.
No ice cream left alive. Yeah, see, that's the problem. When you say treat yourself and then you do it constantly, you're not treating yourself anymore. Like you have an eating problem.
So true. Man, I've treated myself 3 times today for the past 7 days.
And then you see a candy bar. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
F it. Treat yourself. Yeah.
I wanted to look like Tom Haverford. Now, oh God, what's her name? The woman who always does Treat Yourself Day with Tom Haverford. Oh, I can't remember her name. But like, she's this bigger woman. I wanted to look like Tom. Now I look like her.
Yeah. I thought Parks and Rec was fine. I didn't think it was that good. I know people love it. I thought it was fine.
I love that show. It's weird. Most people I know either love The Office or don't really like Parks and Rec, or love Parks and Rec and don't really like The Office. Yo, I love both.
See, I loved The Office, and I thought Parks and Rec was fine. I watched all of it, and I was like, okay, like, I'm invested enough to watch it once and never watch it again.
Totally watching The Office again. For the 8th time this year.
Yeah, I watch The Office pretty much consistently.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be off Netflix by now?
No, the end of this year.
And it's going to what? NBC streaming platform where no one's ever going to watch it again?
Yeah. Meanwhile, from thrift stores, I have half of the seasons, so I'm about set.
Yeah, I'm probably... I mean, like, to be perfectly honest, I probably won't watch The Office ever again until NBC's streaming platform folds.
I don't blame you.
Dude, no one's gonna subscribe to an NBC streaming platform.
I mean, isn't that... is it Peacock?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Which, oh God, what was it? The Parks and Rec, like, new episode special thing. The one place wasn't going to air it because it was going to have advertisements for Peacock in it.
What else is even going to be on that? You got 30 Rock, Below Deck, Today? The Today Show?
Yes.
Everybody Hates Chris, Downton Abbey,
The Bourne Identity, Parks and Rec, Saturday Night Live.
I mean, like, there's some...
Oh, I swear if they take Superstore off of Hulu, I'm going to be mad.
That's what's going to happen, pal. Oh, it's free.
I feel like there's a catch here.
Once you're signed up, you can start watching Peacock right away. No strings attached, no expiring trial period.
But
just free.
There is a premium. So what does... This is great podcast content, and I'm okay with it. What...
These people need to know.
Yeah. You can upgrade to Peacock Premium for $4.99 a month to unlock even more content, and then to Peacock Premium Plus for an additional $10 a month to watch without ads. So stuff is going to be locked behind a paywall.
All right, let's jump into some gaming news. Elijah, tell us about the Control Ultimate Edition.
So, Control, which was my game of the year from last year, the Remedy Entertainment has announced, by the way, this is from Alessandro Barbosa. I love that name. From GameSpot. Ahead of the first showing of its next expansion for Control, Remedy Entertainment has announced a new all-inclusive edition of the game that will launch on August 27th on Steam for $40. And there's a great launch schedule for it. It's ridiculous. Anyhow, it'll come to other things later. It's important to note that the only way to get the free upgrade to next-gen versions of Control is by purchasing the Ultimate Edition. Only owners of this new version on Xbox One and PS4 will have their game updated for free to the Xbox Series X and PS5 version, respectively. It has not been stated yet if you'll be able to purchase this update down the line, or if the Ultimate Edition is the only way to obtain this. But Remedy did confirm with GameSpot that owners of the base game and its DLC are not eligible for an upgrade. Here's the fun part. Control Ultimate Edition will launch first on Steam and arrive on the Epic Game Store on September 10th. It will launch digitally for Xbox One and PS4 on September 10th. It'll launch on Steam on August 27th. The Epic Game Store, PSN, and Xbox Live on September 10th. Then physically for PS4 and Xbox One later this year. Then physically for Series X and PS5 early next year. Now, what people are mad at, and rightfully so, is Control has been on sale lately, so people are buying it up.
Right.
But they're not going... for example, I own the game and I own all the DLC. I own literally everything that's going to be in the Ultimate Edition. I don't get an upgrade.
So you don't get like that exclusive content from the Ultimate Edition.
So the Ultimate Edition has no exclusive content.
Well, who cares then?
Because the Ultimate Edition plays on PS5 and Series X.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I thought there was exclusive content.
No, the Ultimate Edition, the exclusive content is it gets the upgrade to next gen. Now, I can see why people are upset about this, but at the same time, for example, this game came out early last year. I want to say in like May, maybe. I also could be very wrong. Maybe it was August. I don't remember. It came out last year. If you bought this game a while ago, the whole idea was to play it a while ago.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be like, okay, I have Metal Gear Solid 5. If they came out tomorrow with a version, now I know this already came out, but if they came out with a version that has the game and all the DLC, and it got a free upgrade to PS5 and Xbox Series X, I'd be like, yeah, I've owned this game for 2 years. I didn't play it. That's on me.
Well, so I see why people are mad. I don't agree with it though. But here's the thing: Control came out. It was probably like what, a year ago?
Yeah, it was sometime last year.
When did the last DLC come out?
It comes out this month.
Okay, so this is a case of like unfortunate timing, I think, because it came out at the end of a generation. Games just do this, right? They come out with their complete editions, like a year or two later.
Yeah.
The thing is that this complete edition comes out right before the new consoles are launching. And if you were to do this and then not give people a free upgrade to the PS4 or the PS5 and Series X, now people are just not going to buy it. And I just don't think it's reasonable to just request this extra step from a developer. I mean, sure, what you have might be all the same stuff that's in the complete edition or the what is it, the Ultimate Edition?
Ultimate Edition, yeah.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that like you're entitled to the free upgrade just because you have all this stuff. Like you bought all this stuff knowing when you bought it that you were not going to get a free upgrade to the PS5 version of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like now all of a sudden that there's this other version that has the PS5 upgrade with it, like that doesn't just mean that you get that as well. You know, I get why people think they're entitled to it because like, oh, I spent all this money, I have all this stuff already. But like, it's just a case of unfortunate timing, man. They had to do this. They had to give you a free upgrade to the game because it was coming out so soon or so close to the PS5 launch. And they didn't have a choice. They could have just waited probably 3 months, but then it would have been the same situation regardless. You buy it on PS4 or you buy it on PS5. And
like when I bought these, I was like, I'm buying these to play them on PS4.
Yeah.
The one thing I will give kind of in the public's way on this is they didn't announce the free upgrade would only be for the Ultimate Edition until they announced the Ultimate Edition. They announced earlier Control will be getting a free upgrade to next gen.
Yeah, that's annoying.
That's where I'm kind of like, okay, I can understand it because I bet people started buying Control after they heard that.
Yeah, that is annoying.
So
I agree with that point.
I wonder. I don't wonder if Remedy seems to be a very like not like in the way that CD Projekt Red is. They are a business there to make money, but they make good for their fans.
Right.
Remedy seems to generally be that same way. So I don't wonder if maybe this isn't something on Remedy, but 505.
Well, Control also sold terribly too.
Yeah,
it did really, really bad.
It's such an amazing game, and it sold so little. And
I've been meaning to play it, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
Here's the thing: on current gen systems, even like the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, it doesn't it has performance issues.
That's what I've heard.
And it's not like it breaks the game. And especially the issues have gotten fixed because when I came back to play the first DLC, I'm like, oh, the game runs better, but it still does have issues. I can't act like that doesn't exist. But yeah, it just sucks for people who bought it after they said, yeah, it's being upgraded, and now they're saying, Oh no, not that one. This one.
Yeah.
At the same time, I will buy this one because I'm going to guess it's going to have a separate trophy list because of them essentially saying it's like a separate game.
Yeah.
I want to get another platinum for this game.
Yeah.
I platinum. It's very doable.
That's what I was going to say. Is it easy?
And it's fun. Like, it's not exactly that it's easy. It's not hard, but there are moments where I was frustrated, but it was fun.
I might end up platinuming Kakarot just for the fact that I'm going to be so close to.
Well, that's what I'm going to do with Fairy Tail. By that point, it's like the only trophies I will have left are like stuff that I'm like, man, this will take forever. And by the end of the game here, I'm like, oh, no, they won't.
Yeah.
Because like the one trophy you have to essentially get to level 99 and pull a Call of Duty and essentially reset to level 1, but you keep your stats.
That's
but
weird.
Which, you know, it kind of sucks. I'm like near the end of the game and I'm like level 52. I'm like, man, I need to grow 50 more levels. Well, there's a mechanic in it where you can essentially just go into an area, hold L1, and I haven't even upgraded this mechanic all the way, and it'll pull in like 20 enemies right now at its upgrade.
Oh, wow.
And I can just like in one swipe from the team, just take them all out, and I'll get like a ton of experience and
Holy
a ton of items. Because also one of the things is you need to complete all the community requests, which are just people around like, hey, if you find 4 cracked horns, can you give them to me? And earlier I'm like, man, I'm going to need to find a whole bunch of stuff and it's going to take forever. I can just go in and get like a ton of the items from that area. I'm like, oh, so that's going to be easy. So it does stuff at the end that makes it so much easier. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to platinum Fairy Tail.
When Fairy Tail's super cheap, I'll play it.
Yeah, like with you being a fan, I highly recommend playing it at some point. But yeah, just definitely wait until it's cheaper.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Whenever it's like $20 or whatever, because those games always go super cheap.
Oh yeah.
I've been wanting to play the My Hero game for a long time, and I'm waiting for that.
It's I picked it up. I'm going towards the platinum in it. I have a little over half the trophies. It's fine.
Yeah, which is like a Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm game.
Well, see, here's the problem with the My Hero game that I didn't like. The entire story, if you're not fighting, the entire story is just played out in, here's a person's picture on screen saying something. Now another person's picture. Nothing on the screen is different. It's just the same background at all times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. I thought the story mode was very poorly done.
I mean, it's just the story of the anime, though, right?
Yeah, I think it starts in like season 2 or something like that.
There's only like 60 episodes or so. I'll probably just, if I wanted the story, I'll just watch the anime.
Yeah,
which I already do, because you should too if you're listening.
I'm on episode 15 right now.
You've only watched 15 episodes of My Hero Academia.
Yeah, it's fine.
Elijah, grow up.
I'm not super big into it.
Grow up, man. It's so good. You don't even know yet, dude, how good that anime is. You don't even know. You have no idea. Finish it. I'm commanding you.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah. So I guess I'll talk about my news article this week, which is earlier this week we got a stealth announcement, Ghost of Tsushima Legends. And basically what this is a multiplayer mode for Ghost of Tsushima that Sucker Punch announced this week. And so depending on how many characters you have in your party, it gives you different options for what you want to do. With 2 players, you'll be able to play a series of co-op story missions that will increase in difficulty and will build on the foundations of Ghost of Tsushima's gameplay with new magical twists that often need you to be in sync with your partner. And then there's a horde mode and a 4-player raid that will arrive shortly after the launch of the new mode. And it will send you and your partners into an entirely new realm to challenge a brutal, terrifying enemy. And they have 4 classes that are all based on ancient Japanese legends. The samurai, the hunter, the ronin, and the assassin. And I'm really excited for it, man.
It looks super fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
I plan on getting Ghost on Black Friday, because I'm sure somewhere will have it even for like $10-15 cheaper.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get it then. And hopefully by the time I finish it up, this DLC will probably be out before then. And I'll be to Hope Rex.
Ghost is really fun, man, and it's unlike any other open world game I've played before. It's got a consistency and a quality to it that you don't see in many open world games. It's all one theme, and that makes it feel less like your typical open world fetch questy type game, and more like, okay, I'm actually a samurai trying to liberate Tsushima, because that's all you do. All you do is like focus on becoming a better samurai, help the people of Tsushima, and progress in the main story. So it's not like you're going here and the dude like in a normal open world RPG, right? You'd go to a town, the dude would be like, I need 7 fat horse leathers. and and you'd be like, okay, I gotta go kill some fat horses and then bring them back. And then he's like, I need 16 buckets of fat horse milk, and you would go get it. But this is like, you go to a town and all the people are like, help, the Mongols are invading my brewery.
I'm going to be honest, this entire conversation just makes me think of the beginning of Witcher 3, where it had that glitch where you could just keep killing cows to get money and stuff. And then eventually they just patched in, if you keep doing that, a giant monster will spawn and kill you.
Yeah, the bovine protector or something like that, they called it.
Yeah. But sweet. You're talking about, I need this fat horse leather and everything. I'm like, man, it's the beginning of the game. He's just going out to that pasture.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima is a really special game. I really enjoy it, and I'm really excited for the co-op mode. Unfortunately, I don't have any friends that play Ghost of Tsushima, so I'm probably not gonna be able to play it.
You will at least have me in time.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
If you ever actually play it.
Like I said, I'm gonna be getting it on Black Friday.
Black Friday is like 3 months away, man.
Yeah.
How do you even know it's gonna go on sale on Black Friday?
Because everything that's not made by Nintendo goes on sale on Black Friday.
It's really annoying, isn't it, how Nintendo never goes on sale?
There are games of theirs I would love to try, but not for full price.
Not Breath of the Wild, though. Austin's not here to defend it. That game sucks.
Woo! Yeah.
Get wrecked, nerd.
Screw you, Link.
I'm still triggered that won Game of the Year over Horizon.
Oh, my God.
Still triggered.
Look.
Never going to get over it.
I'm not going to say Breath of the Wild is a bad game, but I'm not going to say it's a good game.
Dude, it's boring.
It should not have
boring.
won over Horizon.
If that game did not have the Zelda logo on it, no one would give a crap.
Look, I loved 95% about like the things about Breath of the Wild. That 5% I hated was actually playing it. I love the design. I love the music. I love the sounds. I love everything about the game except for actually playing the game.
Dude, I don't know what music you're talking about, dude. There's no music in the game.
See, that's the worst part. There is, but it's so low that you can't hear it.
You're just walking around an empty open world with no music. And then, oh, wait, there's an enemy over in the distance. I better go throw a bomb at it.
Oh, well, my weapon broke after one enemy. Guess I have to get another one.
Yep, gotta retreat. Great game, Austin. Great game for your favorite game of all time, nerd.
Hey, my name's Seth, and my favorite game of all time is an overlooked sequel to one of the most well-known RPGs of all time.
Man, I overcooked this meat. What does it do? I don't know. Okay, look, an enemy.
Watch him just edit this whole part out. See, I'm a god here.
You just gave him the idea. Good job. He wouldn't have thought of it until that, and all of a sudden it's like, oh.
It's true. I did think about erasing both of your voices off of this podcast permanently.
Coach's favorite game is Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, but Rogue Squadron's a good game.
Yeah, it's a good game, but it's time to move on. Are you getting Squadrons when it comes out?
Heck yes.
I'm going to get it for VR. I'm going to get my Oculus.
I have my joystick right here, my PSVR. I'm all set.
Yep, I'm going to get it on VR. I'm going to sit in my chair here, and I'm going to zoom around the high skies.
See, that's what I love about my favorite thing I had ever done in VR was that Battlefront 1 VR mission they did that took place at like during Rogue One. Mm-hmm. Like that was the coolest thing I've ever done in VR. I can look around, oh my god, it's my R2 unit. Holy crap, like all this stuff. I'm like, man, I wish we could get a VR game like piloting, and then all of a sudden, boom, here it is. I'm like, oh, okay, Game of the Year is situated. It's right there.
Yep.
And it's going to have raids. That's awesome.
Speaking of raids, I cannot progress with the new Final Fantasy XIV story until I complete a Crystal Tower raid that no one does anymore. I have to have a full party to do it. It's really annoying.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Where at in... Is it in Shadowbringers? Stormbringer?
It's Shadowbringers,
Okay.
but to complete the patch story, because they upgrade the story every time a new patch comes out, I have to complete the Crystal Tower raid from A Realm Reborn.
Oh. Which
is a level 50 raid, because it's the Crystal Tower raid's like integral to the story of Shadowbringers. So I have to do that before I can finish the story out, and I never did it because I just never did. I wasn't playing the game at that point.
Actually, I don't know. I've never done a raid in Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never done.
You're not even max level yet, are you?
I'm level 56.
Oh, so you can do the Crystal Tower raid.
Yeah,
that's the only one you can do.
Well, technically, shouldn't I even be able to do Coil of Bahamut?
Because that's not really a raid. That's an 8-person.
God, I need to do that just to get the trophy. There's a trophy for beating the first Coil of Bahamut. I'm like, I need to do that because I can get the platinum in the game, but that's going to be the trophy that gives me the biggest pain in the butt.
Blake and I, maybe even Austin. I can't remember if Austin was there or not, but we were all raiding really hard back in the day, and we got really really far into it, and then they wanted me there every Tuesday and Thursday.
No, I couldn't do that.
And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Anytime I hear the name Blake, I just think of the Key and Peele substitute teacher skit. Blake. Where's Blake? You mean Blake? What kind of name is that? Blake.
I don't find Key and Peele funny at all.
See, neither do I, except for the student teacher or the substitute teacher ones and the football player names.
Weren't they the ones that did Coach Hines as well?
I don't know.
I think one of them did the Coach Hines, and that one I do find legitimately funny.
Oh, they also did Inner City Wizard School. That one was pretty good.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we're about ready to wrap up this episode of Frame Skip. Elijah, you got any closing thoughts?
I do not believe... next week I will be talking about the new game Mortal Shell, which given to me by a dev, so thank you to them.
Yep.
I'm so excited to check that out. That's all I got.
Well, thank you for listening to Frame Skip episode 22. Remember to follow us on Twitter at FrameSkipPod and write in with your questions. FrameSkipPodcast@gmail.com or Facebook.com/FrameSkipPod. You can follow me on Twitter at Seth S. Taylor. You can follow Elijah at Local Lizardman. You can follow Austin at Austin J. Eller. I guess that's all. Until next time, guys. Bye.